we're back with another episode of the On The Bench podcast. I am your host, Jay Dan. It's episode 45. Nearly at 50, lads. It's nearly the big one. It's looking shaky, but we're moving. We keep it moving. And on the bench today, we've got some special guests on today. It's kind of like an Arsenal, Chelsea special. I know I'm sure Shaun's not going to think it's special today, but yeah, it's a special. We've got Marty in the building. He's always on AFTV sometimes. He does the, what's it? Like the
Cobham FC TV.
Cobham FC TV.
Subscribe, like, share, comment.
Thank you for coming down, bro. I appreciate
you,
it, man. Obviously, we've got Suga Shaun.
Yes.
He's come on the show before.
Come on, always.
Brother,
yes.
Chelsea fan. Do you not think you're going to win the league this year?
No, not
never.
Me. Not me. No.
Never.
Nah, never.
Okay, so it's just me bugging out.
Yeah.
And also to my right, we've got the Liverpool man. He's been moaning all day since he's been sitting there. The treble's out the window. Looking like Easy.
From 4 down to 1, man.
4 down to 1. If you lot don't win magically somehow because it's the Premier League, what are you gonna do?
You're gonna have to leave the pod, man.
You're gonna have to come out. Then.
I'll become an Arsenal fan.
Seriously.
Wow.
All right, listen. If Arsenal can we get a bet? If Arsenal magically somehow come back and win this league, you gotta wear an Arsenal shirt.
Nah, you know what? Yeah, realistically, I've got a little bet going on with, and the only one that's messing me up right now is Fenerbahce to win the league and Arsenal for 24 grand.
So you want Arsenal to win then?
Well, I'll be a bit annoyed, but I'll be 24 grand richer, you know. So
Serious?
yeah, that's the only two.
Can we get the Arsenal bet? Can we get the Arsenal shirt on? If
I'll put an Arsenal shirt on, yeah.
Shake
I'll put an Arsenal. Yeah, if you win the league.
Right,
I'm that confident you won't.
And also in the corner, we've got Mr. Talk to Frank, aka Mr. Roy Keane. You're not grumpy today.
Nah,
Say Bruno's
no
world
need
class.
to be, mate. It's been a good week for
We
us.
admitted in the group that Bruno's world class.
No, who's we?
Well, me.
Been telling you.
Yeah.
He's not world
He's
class.
just-
He's not.
Alright, we're gonna start off today with Liverpool Newcastle Carabao Cup. Newcastle done it, man. First trophy, domestic trophy in 70 years. Big win. Did you catch the game, Marty? What do you think about Newcastle's performance yesterday, man?
Do you know what? It was a surprise. I thought Liverpool were going to do it. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought Liverpool were going to get a lot further in Champions League, and I thought they were going to win the Carabao Cup. I thought it was nailed on just due to probably maybe a bit of history of Newcastle, them not winning a trophy in so many years. But then that's got to end at some point.
Yeah.
And obviously Liverpool had a bad week. Well, they've had a bad week. I mean, obviously getting knocked out of the Champions League. And I just thought they'd go into this game and nail it, because Liverpool do that. And they've got that in their locker. So, look, it was a bit of a shock. I did catch the last bit of the game. I probably caught the last 30 minutes of the second half. And it was good. It was really good game management by Newcastle at the end, I thought, if I'm honest with you.
What do you think about Salah not showing up when it counts, man? Champions League, nowhere to be seen. Yesterday again, nowhere to be seen. And I've been seeing it online a lot. They're saying, "Where's Salah, man?" So what do you think about that? First about the game. Let's think about the game and then.
Yeah. Like it's. I think people overlook the fact that games prior to games are massive effects on teams, especially when they're massive compared to normal Premier League game. It's okay to bounce back from a poor defeat against a West Ham in 90 minutes, but to go 120 minutes, that kind of like. That mood killer. It's just a mood killer is a massive effect in terms of the next game on from that, and energy drained, mood killer.
Kills momentum.
Kills momentum. And Newcastle are chomping at the bit. Been playing a lot better as of recent, and
Definitely.
like you could just tell that everyone was up for it. Like the what you saw at the end and how it meant to the players and not just the fans. You could tell that they were way more hungry for that game than what the Liverpool fans were. And like you said with the Salah thing, it's just. He's been up against one of the best left backs in the world, Nuno Mendes. I was literally just talking about him a while ago, and when you're looking at top left backs in the world, he's probably one of the standout players. So for him to come up against Salah and keep him quiet was a good performance on Mendes' side. But yeah, Salah not turning up in bigger games and performances is becoming a question, isn't it?
Becoming a question, man. Tone, what's your thoughts anyway as a Liverpool man?
Listen, you know me, I was coining the Salon door
Outside the window,
for months, but that's gone. So no, I don't know. I don't really agree with what you just said about not being able to that being a momentum killer. I think as a professional athlete, you shouldn't be sitting there licking your wounds for a cup final. I think we should be up for it. Van Dijk said at the start of the game, like, we've worked so hard to get here, let's effing whatever. And then to go out and put that performance, everyone on the pitch was just abysmal. So I'm pissed. I'm so pissed off.
What's your thoughts on Salah though, not turning up? Is it frustrating because you know his potential?
Mate, I've got
what he
his
can do?
stats here. Listen to these things. Are you ready? 23 touches the whole game from our best player, a guy that's meant to be winning the Ballon d'Or. 0 shots, 0 chances created. First time ever for Liverpool, by the way, when playing 90 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat, that is.
16 finals, 11 finals for Liverpool, 0 non-penalty goals. He's got 2 goals in finals for us that are penalties. And then, yeah, Chiesa as well. He came on, he had 5 touches in the opposition box, 50% of our shots on target, and the guy played 15 minutes, 16 to be exact. Salah was just absent, man. Like, you see him, you watch him. At points, I didn't even realise he was on the pitch still. Not even joking. Like, I see him come into the camera shot, and I said to my friend who I'm watching it with, "Oh, Salah's still on."
Someone said we saw Ant and Deck more than Salah in that game.
That tweet banged. That tweet did bang.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
For a player of like his caliber, I should be sitting there, maybe getting annoyed at him doing things that he shouldn't be doing because he's trying, maybe dropping into midfield, trying to get the ball, trying to find a pass to another attacker and then losing it, and then me going, why is Salah doing this? Why should he be here? Because the rest of the team's not performing. I'm annoyed the fact that he wasn't doing that. He was just out there hiding on the wing. Tino Livramento locked you up. Tino Livramento is not a great left back, if I'm being honest. He's an average left back at best. And you've been locked up 3 games in a row. It's getting spooky for Salah, if I'm being real.
Frank, what's your take on the game, man?
Do you know what? What I would say is fair play to Newcastle, man, because, and this is what I've been saying about trophies. So you can't afford to turn your nose up at Carabao Cup or FA Cup anymore, because you try and tell those Newcastle fans that it means nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you saw the way that Bruno Guimaraes was talking after the game, the way Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes were grabbing each other and hugging each other, and crying and celebrating their fans. A lot of the fans were like older guys, man. They hadn't seen their team win a trophy for many, many years. That they've been to a lot of games and meant everything. So I thought Newcastle deserved it. I thought they were from the start, like you guys said, they were at it. They were just on it. Yeah, they were just hungry. They wanted it more. And the thing with Liverpool is, and we've been saying this as well, Liverpool have started a lot of games slow this season. A lot of games. And I even said to you last week, I feel like Liverpool have walked the league. They've barely got out of second or third gear second gear in most games. They've done that on the final day, and before you knew it, they were 2-0 down. And it was only a matter of time before they get punished. You'd think it would happen in a league game. It didn't. It happened in a cup final. And they've only got themselves to blame, really. They weren't at it. They didn't want it. Newcastle did. And I feel like, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but they've had a lot of games, a lot of sort of games where it's energy sapping, energy draining. Even the Southampton game at Anfield a couple of weeks ago, that took a lot out of Liverpool, because Southampton went 1-0 ahead and they were sort of doing okay, and then obviously you'd have to come back and win it, and then the PSG both legs, extra time.
PSG moved to that.
Yeah,
it's becoming a reoccurrence with this team, and I wouldn't just say under Slot, because even last year we were sort of known as the go behind with Slot in his last season, go behind, and then we come back and win, starting off slow. This season it's been the same thing, so I'm not really surprised by it.
Premier League, you got some hard games still. You got Everton, obviously that's at home, but you drew with Everton last time. Then you got Fulham away. That's a bogey team. So there's possibility you could drop some points in the Premier League. I'm not saying you're gonna lose. I think it was 4 games in it recently.
Yeah, 4 games.
I love Ricky, but if you draw a couple, lose a couple,
get a bit edgy in it.
It's on. Then it go take you to Anfield.
We on your ass.
Press that button, bruv.
Pause. Yeah. What did you guys think the header was that good though as well?
Yeah.
You thought it was that good?
Do you know what I really learned out of that game? Alexander Isak, man. What? Like, you're talking about Salah turning up, and I just think big players. No, I'm not saying Salah's not, but he's a huge player, like probably one of the Premier League all-time greats. But Isak, he's just a hungry guy. Like, you're talking about this hunger. That Newcastle team wanted it, and Isak turned up when you needed him to. Yeah. And that's it. That team wanted it. That Dan Burn header. That was a good header, man.
You don't save them ones, do you?
I personally think Alisson saved that. The more I watch it, I think Alisson saves it.
Yeah, I do as well. I think your goalkeeper is nowhere near. Listen, Alisson's one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, potentially the world on his day. He's unbelievable. He's one of those keepers who can do a lot. You know, good in the air, good with his feet, good with his hands, good shot stopper, good save. You know, the lot. And yeah, that's what changes games.
Is Isak the best striker in the world at the moment?
He's hottest property, I think.
Yeah, that's
Hottest property.
Probably. Yeah, because it's because people are looking at him because they want to sign him. He's at Newcastle. You're not going to compare him to the likes of Harry Kane's and all these kind of guys and Haaland's and that. But he's definitely the hottest property in the market at the moment.
Is he staying? Does he stay at Newcastle? What do you get when you win a cup? Is it Conference or Europa?
So what if you win that cup?
The League
Europa.
Cup, yeah.
You win Europa. So for me,
is it Europa for League Cup as well?
Yeah, Europa. I'm pretty sure it is. So for me, with the Isak situation, I'll be honest. I wanted Liverpool to win the final, and I don't want Newcastle to get Champions League because then Isak and Guimaraes are gone.
Yeah.
And Arsenal. It's a wide open door. Them two players make a huge difference.
They're massive.
Let alone our team, any team on this planet. And they are two players that we need, especially Isak. I know you know the situations that we've had with goal scorers, and Isak just, he'd be the main man and fits that bill perfectly.
We're not breaking the bank as Arsenal.
Mate, we do break banks. We do.
I can't see them doing
I feel like Liverpool are more likely to get Isak than Arsenal, to be honest.
Do you think?
Yeah, we've been in contact with his representatives. So I read from Fabrizio.
And I can see Liverpool letting Trent go. He's on big wages, isn't he?
We're not letting him go. He's going on his own volition, little rat.
So Trent leaving. I can see them selling Darwin Núñez for a good amount of money. And then just adding a bit on top and then getting
in Arsenal, they'll buy Darwin Núñez.
Oh my god!
But that was
Darwin Núñez on a cut price.
That was linked on BBC Sport yesterday.
What Darwin Núñez?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I said this. Remember, I said this in the point. I said Arsenal wants to get Núñez
Because of Arteta, though.
Yeah. I can see it happening.
To be fair, I think he's a top player.
Yeah, but he's not what you need. You guys need a finisher. You guys don't need another player that's
another Havertz.
Yeah, there's going to be missing chances and the fans are going to get on his back. You need a finisher. You need someone clinical.
I think the problem with a lot of Havertz until we got injured, we realised how much we miss Havertz. He is a good player.
He's effective.
He is a top player. And as Arsenal fans, do get on players massively. It's like Mourinho. We get Mourinho's back. Arsenal fans do hugely get on their players' backs, massively.
Do you know what is with Havertz? He misses a lot of chances.
Yeah,
and we need, because we create a lot of chances, and our problem is with Arsenal, we don't finish them. And this is why we're 15 points, 12 points behind Liverpool at the moment, because not taking our chances. So imagine you got Núñez in now, and he's missing all these chances. We're gonna go ballistic.
I know, but I think Núñez at Arsenal being the main man, I think that's the problem, the unsettling problem at Liverpool, because he is not dedicated to being the main guy. Yeah. And there's certain strikers that need that, and that's what they thrive on. It's like Ian Wright got unsettled when Anelka came, and he was phenomenal for Arsenal, but he did get unsettled when Anelka comes along. And that's you've got to look at that as well. It's like the players' mentality and how it affects them.
Yeah. Shaun, what do you think, sir?
Yeah, I was just going to say Chelsea are going to need a striker as well, aren't they, this summer?
Yeah. I think Nicholas Jackson's always going to be a good backup striker, but it's dependent on. It's this Maresca thing, isn't it? It's the system he wants to play, and he likes touchline wingers, but then at the moment he's not going with that, even though he's got some of them available. He's playing Pedro Neto down the middle. Pedro Neto's been awful recently. I think some people think he's done a half decent job in playing up front, but he runs in straight lines. I don't think he's necessarily fast. There's Thomas Partey ran him down yesterday. I think since his injury, it's really affected his pace.
Neto.
Yeah, because he's a short. When they're short players and their feet are moving quick, people think that they're that fast. But when you're putting people in stride, Gabriel ran him down, got to the ball before him. So did Thomas Partey. So it's like I don't think the pace is there for him, and we just need someone to fill that void up front. We've spent on so many players, but Mark Yu was supposed to be the backup for Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah,
but he's injured.
Is he at the moment?
He pulled his thing as well.
It's
something to do with his groin, I think it was. It was his groin.
Okay.
In the game after when Nicholas Jackson, I think, literally got injured. But we need a striker desperately, man.
What's your thoughts on? Because obviously you just signed Quenda, the guy that United were desperate for.
Yeah.
That's another winger.
They signed someone else.
And you're paying what 40, 50 million for him, leaving him at Sporting for another season. But who knows what's going to happen in another season? Maresca might not be there. You know, the way that Chelsea.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think the Quenda thing, and also with the Quenda thing, we had to buy someone else alongside him.
Yeah,
you said
Suga
or something like that.
Okay,
yeah. I can't remember.
That was a George
We've got
Mendes
two similar
deal,
players.
So basically, in order to get Quenda, they've had to buy another player alongside him.
Mendes.
That's the George Mendes.
Yeah, the Mendes deal.
That's
the Mendes deal.
Proper bolt-up move.
It's like
This one's rubbish. If you've got to take him, that one needs good.
It's like your mum telling you if you want to go football, you've got to take your little brother with you.
It feels like Danny Drinkwater and Kante all over again. It's literally feels like that. So it's like, but the talent ID, the talent that was crazy. Danny Drinkwater never played a game and he milk wages. But
smashed a few motors up there.
But with the Quenda thing, I think the Chelsea thing, they all went on a protest and stuff like that, and they addressed the wrong issues. But Quenda is one of those people that I think the board have just said that he's too good to pass up on, because we're all moaning about the fact that we're buying bare young players, and we're arguing that it needs to stop. So it fits the criteria of the Bowley model, and I think he kind of just put his middle fingers up at everyone and two fingers up at everyone and said, sod your protest about whatever the model is and moaning about certain things, and said, well, we'll go and sign one of the best talents on the market the next week. But I think he's just seen as that too good of a player to pass up on.
It's a good opportunity.
Yeah,
because you've got that other Brazilian lad coming as well.
Esteval, unbelievable
he's meant
player.
to be quality.
He's unbelievable. He's going to be groundbreaking.
So the Brazil, his coach said he's ahead of Endrick, by the way. He said he's the best young Brazilian talent he's ever seen.
Yeah. He just broke the record of most goal contributions under the age of 18 since Neymar anyway as well. So it's like he's so special.
So where do you fit these guys in?
He's coming this season,
But
he's
special.
special.
This is what I mean. Like,
I think he walks in because I think that's why they kind of transitioned Cole Palmer into the 10 for this season, so that they kind of get used to Cole Palmer being in the 10, because Cole was on the right from last season, but I think they always wanted to put him in the 10, and then we've obviously had Noni Madueke out there, but Noni's not good enough.
Do you reckon he's going to get sold?
He probably does get sold, but as well, it's managing a youngster.
I think he's one of your best wingers.
Noni.
He's good, mate.
He's
compared to the rest.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I don't rate him.
But in terms of right side, he can't play on the left side.
Yeah, he can't.
Pedro Neto will play on the left side if he has to. Sancho, we're having an argument with Man United of who wants to take him, because we don't want him.
Someone
You have him.
Yeah, you have him. You have him.
Someone said the game at Old Trafford, loser gets Sancho. When we play Chelsea.
He started really well though, right?
Yeah.
He was all right, but
moments,
but that's what it is.
It's moments, yeah.
It's first in performances. Show up to the boss. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing all right, and over try, and then when you get settled, you start to go back into your tendencies. But
do you feel like Chelsea's declined though? Like the whole team on the whole, because
I just think the player assignment from just the recruitment assignment from Stewart and Winstanley, like the talent ID that they've pulled from teams, because it's not like as if we've only just spent on youngsters. We've tried to buy players for the first team, but I feel like so many of them are like 7 out of 10s. Like Levi Colwell's not great. Like Badia Shill's not that great. Like Disasi, we spent £40 million on. They've tried to spend money, like £45 million on a defender that weren't really known. That's a lot of money. And they're mediocre players.
Well, I've said this for many sort of times. Chelsea's saving grace is you sell well. You sell well. You just seem to sell these players well. Like Havertz, you paid 70 million for him, and at the time, every big club in Europe was after Havertz. By the way, when they bought him from Leverkusen. And he's not performed really for Chelsea. He got the Champions League goal, which has obviously been.
I think a lot of people underrate Havertz.
No. But hold on. But I don't think it was worth 65 million that you got for him.
Yeah.
I think they pretty much got their money back for him. You know what I mean? And
good player, but it's exactly what the Arsenal fans establish.
Yeah.
Good player, good worker, links up play, good touches. But when you're playing up front, you need to score goals. Yeah. And if you don't take your chances and you're a centre forward, you're going to get criticised.
Yeah.
But he is a good player. But it's just, as a striker, no. But
I've got a question for you, Marty. What would you do with Havertz?
What would I do with him?
Would you keep him in this? If we get a striker in, for instance,
try and get him out of hospital at a minute. Fix his hamstring first. No, look, do you know what? I do exactly. I was just listening to that conversation. Then you're like, after he won Chelsea the Champions League, and then no one really, and I just think Look, I'm not saying he's the long-term answer to us. I really agree with what you're saying. He's in and around, but you need to score more goals. It's that level of clinicality that he just doesn't, in some ways, possess. But what he brings through is we score so many goals from other areas of the pitch. He brings in the wingers, he brings in the fullbacks, he brings in the midfielders, because he is such a handful to play against. I don't think I've seen a centre forward, potentially apart from Isak, that is that physical. Like I watch him in front of me at the Emirates.
Hard to get the ball off him.
This guy, he's sticking his. He'll elbow you, but you don't see him elbow you. If that makes sense, he'll tread on your. He'll tread. He'll do all the nasty things that you want your centre forward to do, but it's not obvious. And he's a battering ram, and he brings the rest of the team into play, and that's what I like about him. I would bring in like an Isak or a Joker. I like Jokeres. I like him. I think he's a perfect profile fit for Arsenal, and Isak obviously. But his goal scoring record's phenomenal. They're both big, powerful players that I like, and have Havertz, because you're never going to get your number 9 to play every single game of the season, and especially at Arsenal, what we've seen this season is you're going to end up with a long-term injury, and that's you need those two players
options,
in that.
You especially if you're trying to go for different competitions as well. And next season, I think is key for Arsenal. Yeah, because you need a trophy.
Well,
so if it's the FA Cup or the League
job,
Cup,
I think
potentially.
I do genuinely believe if Arsenal by the end of next season don't get a trophy of some description or get to a final of a Champions League, I reckon the fans will be calling for his head. And he kind of needs to, because we're deep into this. Like they're saying, it's 4.5 part 4.5 of the process. We're deep into this process of that they said. And, something needs to happen.
We're kind of ahead, though.
No, you're not.
As in...
You're not.
Look, do you know what it is? The reason we're saying we're ahead, because we overachieved 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
because we've done so well.
You 2 years ago you were playing.
I was gonna say that's looking.
We're falling apart.
It's
The Emirates is falling down.
Quite literally a sign.
It's a sign. Yeah, literally.
So, man.
2 years ago you were playing the best football that they've played under Arteta. If anything, you've regressed.
No, as in the time frame he's came in. Did you expect Arsenal to do so well in that short space of time?
Do you know what I did? I did, and also look, there's a thing with Arsenal fans, they call it like toxic positivity, but if you actually look at Arsenal realistically, we're second in the league, we're playing Real Madrid in a Champions League quarter-final. We have a fantastic record in that Champions League. The football that we then say you haven't played anymore. Then say the PSG team, they weren't the same team as the team that played Liverpool. They are the same team, apart from a couple of players. And then those same people say, one player doesn't make a team. Well, in a way of what's his name for Rodri for Man City, yeah, I do believe a player makes a team. But when I look at Arsenal and how they play, the position they're in, like the Chelsea game, Chelsea were terrible yesterday. Well, we shut them out 1-0. That was a 1-0 to the Arsenal. And if you actually watch the game and break it down, defensively, we were fantastic. Declan Rice played out of his skin. And we made Chelsea look bang average. Cucurella is a World Cup winner. And Cucurella was, he got cooked by Martinelli quite a few times. Martinelli's been criticised for not turning up. And he turned up yesterday. And he's just come back from a long injury layoff. There are some players in that Arsenal team that are hugely performing. This Saliba and Gabriel thing's become boring now because they perform at such a high level week in, week out. And then you compare goalkeepers. Our goalkeeper makes a mistake and it doesn't go in the back of the net. Now Chelsea, one of their huge problems, you see, they haven't had a decent goalkeeper for years. I don't think, when I look at Raya, we have solved that goalkeeping since the days of Lehmann and Seaman. Having a top goalkeeper will save you 12 points a season easily. And that Raya is that guy. And when I look, we are literally, I think, a few players away from winning a trophy. Definitely.
We have to.
I think a centre forward is just it's imperative that Arsenal get a top class centre forward in the summer. It has to happen.
Yeah. I think they're going to do it. I reckon the new sporting director is going to sign.
He's the guy. He is the guy. Look, we've done to that Atletico team. Over years. And listen, we do spend big. We've done it over the years. Look at Declan Rice. That was a marquee signing. We do make them. Last season, I just think he went in with the Calafiori, Marino, and the Sterling was an easy sign, hoping to get us to the back end. You do have to balance financial fair play. You do. Like if you look at the back end business metrics of it, it is a thing.
The business was terrible.
Really?
You let Smith Rowe go. and brought
Yeah,
in
but
Marino.
Smith Rowe can't do 90 minutes.
No, but
okay,
then,
and he was injury prone.
But then
Yeah, but he's
Odegaard
good
got
to
injured
sit on the
straight away,
bench.
though.
Huh?
He's good.
I think it was because Arteta wasn't playing. I think Smith Rowe more wanted to leave.
I'll tell you what, for the players that I'd buy for Arsenal, which I believe completely changes this team, is a Gyökeres or Isak, Kuna. That boy,
Cunha.
Kuna.
For Wolves.
Because I'll tell you why, because he is the pull a rabbit out of a hat kind of guy. He'll pick up the ball on the edge of the box, bang, it's in the top corner. That's what we need, that guy that can create something for nothing. When teams are playing us with a low block in front of goal, we find it hard to work through the lines or really break those lines, or just to literally clip it from the, and Nwaneri's been doing that. Before that, Saka was doing that a lot. So, and then a Zubamendi or Guimaraes kind of midfielder, and I believe other than
I
that,
think we're getting Superman.
I
what
personally
happened with
disagree
that?
with the Cunha signing. As quality as a player is it, the reason why I disagree, I feel like you guys need someone in the box. That's what I think you guys need. And I know you're talking about creativity, but I feel like when you've got Saka, because Saka's, you'd like to think he'll be fit next season.
yeah,
And
he will.
what I would say is, I think you need a left winger as well. I think you need someone on the other
Cunha
side.
plays
to
off the
add
left.
that.
He plays
Not
off-
really. No, he
a
drops
fair
a bit
bit-
more central.
No, he plays off the
he'll
left a
drift
lot as well.
He'll drift, but that's not his starting position. If that makes
But
sense.
for me,
He won't-
the reason why I say the Kuna signing is because you can play him on the left and you can play him as a number 10 option. The
Yeah,
problem,
10, yeah,
like you said
definitely.
with
10
Odegaard,
definitely.
is because he's like, I'm playing. But then now, in signing Kuna, you've got Nwaneri that can potentially play there, or Kuna. So it then applies pressure to Odegaard that, listen, mate, because that's also been another part. He's been a bit hit and miss this season.
Who, Odegaard?
He hasn't been anywhere near the
We're
levels.
going to touch on that in a second, but he's been very. Sure, if you was the Arsenal manager, who's signing? What do we need?
See the Cunha opinion. Obviously, he's performed well against other clubs, but when I was at the Bridge, it was probably one of the worst performances from any individual I've ever seen, and that's what made me think to myself, Cunha's supposed to be the guy. Like, you go to games, you're saying, who am I supposed to look out for today?
Was that the 4-2 or 4-1 or what was the score?
Just
that
the
game?
most recent game at home.
I
can't
think
remember
I was
what
watching
the
that game,
final
yeah, I don't
result
remember,
was.
yeah.
I can't remember, but
yeah,
it was just so bad. I was like, I've never seen a performance like this from someone that's touted like this. But in terms of Arsenal, it's like a lot of Arsenal fans that I know have been very tired of Martinelli, even though he did have a good game on the weekend. But so many it's so many contrasting opinions about players on certain teams that some people are in favour for, some people so many people hate Declan Rice at Arsenal. Yet
Just
so many
ridiculous,
it's ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think they do need someone to obviously partner alongside Declan Rice for the future. Thomas is getting on a bit, so I'd say centre mid, left winger, striker. I think that's quite evident. The back four's easy. They're playing 4 centre halves that ain't even basically they're playing full backs that are centre halves, and they're cruising. Timber.
We got that idea from.
Yeah, yeah. Timber's a Rolls Royce, I think personally. They haven't been able to see as much of Timber as what he has, but unbelievable player to be able to come into that team. And then the back four's easy. The goalkeeper.
He's keeping Ben White out of the team now as well, isn't he? During Timber.
You know what? I watched Ben White. Funny, he's been another long injury layoff, but I watched him and he was really off the pace. I think it's the PSV game, and he I think that's going to take quite a bit longer to get him. I think Arteta realised that after that game. But Ben White has been fantastic, over the course of the season with that link-up play with Saka. What people forget with Arsenal is for last season and a lot of this season, we had Ben White and Saka down that right-hand side, and they were killing teams.
That one as well.
Old Trafford already fell down.
That's not
Old Trafford.
You got to hit that
Surprised
red
he didn't go
button,
first, to be fair.
and Ben White and Saka were killing teams down that, the overlap, the underlap, and teams just couldn't handle it. And then literally they both got injured, and we had to find a new, because the amount of goals we got from that right hand side,
I
and
agree.
the cuttings, and it was what the balls that Ben White
And Odegaard played from that side as well, didn't he? So it was
the whole link-up thing. Ben White is one of the such underrated players. The work that he does, he's a consummate professional that just plays out of his skin every week. And knowing that he's back on the bench and he's back in the team is great. I just think that injury is going to take a little while longer to.
And available for England now, thankfully. So that's good. We need a centre half, to be fair.
Well, one more question. Odegaard this season, I think it's 3 assists and 3 goals.
He hasn't.
Sure, what's your take on Odegaard?
Well,
is Odegaard world class? Do you think he's world class?
My definition of world class is a lot different to other people. People put world class as whoever are in the top 3 players of the current generation of who's playing right now. Where I wouldn't want to say someone's world class in this, because you could be top 3 players in the world but not be to the level of players from 25 years ago. So my world class is the premium top level. You can't get higher than world class. So I can't put someone like an Odegaard in world class when I talk about Ronaldinho's and Iniesta's, and it's different levels. So
is that not elite though?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like my level of world class is the top part. Elite would be below world class for me.
Yeah, I agree,
really?
Shaun.
Yeah, like that's how I am. Because like world class is like, for me, it's the best. Elite for me is like saying very good.
Okay, so for me, elite's that's it.
It's just how you see it.
Yeah, right.
That's how you see it.
World class is essentially international player that performs at highest level, a player that you know most teams would buy for a higher, you know, I know 40 million, 50 million, you know, that top level performer.
It's just funny that the conversation has gone from Odegaard being clear of Bruno Fernandes over the last like 2 years, and now it transitioned into a fact that now that people are starting to question now has Odegaard been good enough this season, because Bruno Fernandes is trying to carry Man United at times on his back. So
I think he is.
Odegaard's numbers this season's terrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
If you go
Especially
back,
for a creative midfielder.
Yeah.
Terrible. What you gonna say?
as I say, if you go back 2 years ago as well, where you've just said Odegaard actually was getting those numbers in the Premier League.
But then you can say that where's his striker? You can have a counter argument to who's really there. Yeah, who is he assisting? So it is an argument.
We'll go off next season if we do get a striker.
Yeah. Then you might see. Yeah.
I think for me the problem with what I've had with Odegaard is there's a lot of nothing sometimes in these turning circles. The turning circles and the pirouettes.
Yeah.
Last season I loved them because they went everywhere. He'd get the ball, he'd do this great turn, he'd ping it off to Saka, or he'd ping it across to Havertz, it's in the back of the net, or he'd pick the ball up and he'd knock it into the top corner, and you're like, mate, this guy's unbelievable, he's unplayable. But then this season, he'd turn around and then he'd lose the ball, or he'd pass it off to someone and there's nothing, or he'd just run around with the ball, and then you're just like, mate, what are you doing? And you're just like, mate, you're so good. Or he'll hit it and he'll go into row Z, and you're like, or he'd just try this real curl and it would just sort of meander to like the side of the 6-yard box, and you're like, come on, man, like show me something.
Look what he done to Nkunku, that touch.
Yeah, man.
You see the touch?
Can't remember.
He done a mad, like, not Dennis Bergkamp, but he knocked it.
It's esque stuff.
And it just went.
No,
He's in a Palmer
player,
situation. He's in a Palmer situation, like how I feel at the moment with us. When you lose something that's up front that can work with you, even though I don't like Jackson, he works with Palmer in a good well.
Yeah, 100%.
In a link-up play. But like losing one player is hard enough, but losing Saka and a striker is massive.
Yeah.
So,
We've had to adapt to change the way we play, and then he's got Marino, and at some time, you know, there's been some points he's got himself in some great positions. I mean, that game against Leicester is like, mate, this guy, he's like, why haven't we played him there before? But then other times he's running around. You're like, he's just running around like a bit of a headless chicken, if I'm honest with you, with no direction or anything. So it's trying to adapt to that style.
I've got a quick question for. I can start with you, Shaun. So the Chelsea team I got put yesterday, how many of those players will get into the current Arsenal team, do you believe? So we're going to start off.
well,
So Sanchez or Rea.
nobody across that back five.
No, I agree with that.
If you're talking you're talking about the current Arsenal team.
No, so the Chelsea team that was out playing yesterday, and the Arsenal team that was playing yesterday.
Oh,
Cucurella?
Cucurella is a shout to have an argument with him, because Skelly's not really a left back.
I didn't know this, by the way. I didn't know this.
Yeah, he was a midfielder. He's performing
so well.
great.
He's like an 8 or 6, right?
Yeah.
But when we bought Calafiori, he slotted straight into that left back. Because obviously we had problems with Zinchenko, where Zinchenko was sort of good going forward, but he was really bad defensively. But then in recent times, Calafiori has been, and he is a good defender, but he's been exposed. And he's looked really shaky. But Lewis Skelly, what a fight. Him and Wanieri, and I've heard behind the scenes that they are like consummate professionals, how they go about their business. But this boy has played out of his skin. He gets it. Like in that Derby game yesterday, he just understands what a derby means to a player, that he just has that mentality. It's built into him. And, you know, that he is what a find of the season. If we'd have paid 50 million quid for him, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. That's how good he is.
Call out.
Yeah. But
Caicedo.
Caicedo probably gets in there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
He'll probably sit beside Rice.
Completely agree. Him and Rice together.
Yeah.
100%.
Part is. It's funny that I just had an argument. Like Miles was trying to argue the fact that Partey's probably been one of the best players of Arsenal this season, but he doesn't even think Rice has been to the level of Partey. So it's funny to think that. But I would see it as Caicedo and and Rice in the
Party's
midfield.
important to Arsenal.
Do you know what?
Very important.
This season, up until the last 4 games, Rice has been very inconsistent. But you've got to think he's been played out of position. He is a 6, and he is one of the best 6s in the country. He plays there for England. He just runs around like a horse, just clearing everything up. You know, he's got.
He's like a galloping horse.
He is. He's like, he gallops around.
He's a gallop.
Like a war horse, right? And in the last 4 games, he's played out of his skin. Like before this season, he'd leave the pitch and you could see he's left everything on the pitch. But then up until these last 4 games, he wasn't like that. And then recently he has been. He's been fantastic. And Thomas Partey, if I'm honest, he's been
good this season. He's been good for Arsenal. But for
Caicedo's
me,
been arguably
Caicedo,
one of the best midfielders in the league
this season.
Caicedo or Partey this season?
Caicedo, I mean, until Gravenberch's form recently, because he's been dogged the last 4 games, I'd say them 2 are the best centre mids in the Prem this season. Midfielders, sorry, not centre mids.
Because we're asking Caicedo to be on an island by himself to cover for Enzo. Like Enzo's physicality is not great, and you saw it yesterday. Like when you're asking someone with no physicality and no fitness and no athleticism to go and run down DMs and stuff like that, and you're chasing shadows. So it's like having him there doing that. Reece James in midfield having to go down and chase down people when he's not necessarily someone that closes gaps quickly. He's more of a sprint over 5 yards kind of thing when the player's in and around his vicinity. He's not someone that runs around the pitch and keeps distance.
Like a shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, like a shoulder to shoulder one.
Guy,
yeah. So
I'm quite. Do you know what? I wanted to see more Lavia because the times that I've seen him, he's been
great player, but he just can't stay fit. Yeah. But that's why with the team that went out yesterday, Reece James played midfield. That don't get into nowhere. Like if you're talking about right back, then maybe you can have a conversation. If you talk right backs,
he should have got sent off yesterday.
Who?
Frona, we probably pronounce his name. How do you say his name?
Who?
Frona.
Fofana. Oh yeah, when he tried to put his leg in between the ball thing.
He stamped on Rice, didn't he?
I
thought Partey was lucky as well yesterday.
Partey
was feisty early on. Fofana thought was.
I like that though. I like the.
I like Fofana.
No. As in the game like that.
Yeah,
like
it needed something.
It's a London derby at the end of the day. It should be like that, man.
Yeah, it should be.
Give it some.
That's not how it should be.
That's how it should be.
It's because of how crap the clubs are. You could buy a ticket for £100 to go to that game yesterday. If Arsenal win contention, you're looking at £300, mate. But it's
there was empty seats, and I couldn't believe it. You know, it was like the PSV game. There was loads of seats, and I was just like. But then on the big game, Real Madrid, I'd be sold out there.
100%.
Yeah,
rightly so. Yeah.
Only 3 players getting in your team.
Only 3. So who's your 3? Sorry.
Just Cole, Cucurella, and Caicedo. Arguable.
You think Cucurella gets in at left back?
Cucurella he's so underrated. Like if you go to some of these games, like he's one of those players. He's not massively technical and stuff like that, but in terms of
he does the basics.
Not yesterday. Yesterday he got beat by Martinelli, and when he got cut down the line, and everyone was asking for the foul. But just in general, he's a nuisance. He's on to people constantly. His physical attributes are. You're talking about professionals nowadays being geared towards fitness and athleticism. He's ahead of the elite people at that physicality stuff. He gets to things. He's constantly running. He breaks up play. He's been playing in the cam in some of these games. He's our only attacking.
He's got a few goals this season as well.
Yeah, because Maresca's kind of like shifted into I find it annoying because it feels like it's the only way we're trying to attack, and it's like the ball goes down the right hand side. Jadon Sancho, whoever it is, Noni Madueke, whoever's available, cut back, and it's the ball over the top, the curling back post, trying to isolate a fullback with Nkunku and Cucurella at the back stick. Because so many of our chances have come from Cucurella being free in the box. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to play towards. And it's trying to play towards your left back as your best attacking outlet is saying things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what? We sometimes forget.
I know, Chilwell, Alonso, we've done it before in the past. But like, it's our only option.
Yeah, it's especially since Palmer's
If Palmer's not there,
we actually forget Cucurella cost 60 million, man.
Yeah,
he costs a lot of money from Brighton.
He normally has something in his pocket as well, though.
He does. I've been to a couple of games. Yeah, he's underrated, man. He's a very good player.
I'll go back to the question. You said Cole Palmer gets in the team over Odegaard.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You agree with that?
On form, 100%.
Yeah, you agree with that? Cole Palmer over Odegaard. If you got attribute for attribute,
there were times when Cole Palmer's devastating and he's absolutely fantastic, but then there's times when he's not. He is literally quite, he's hot. He can blow hot and cold. But then Odegaard hasn't turned up that much this season. I think it's a question of form. when they're both at their best.
Yeah, that's a good point. When they're both
Palmer.
at their best,
Yeah.
like Odegaard in his prime season, Palmer at his prime.
Well, I think Palmer's already got a couple of hat-tricks in the Premier League.
Palmer's got more ability to.
I think the maddest thing I saw about Cole Palmer was there was a game, I think it was Newcastle, and I was watching it. I was just about to get on a flight, actually. I watched it on Match of the Day, and I thought, oh, yeah, they're beating them 4-0. And I know he had a goal disallowed or something. He scored in the first half, I think he scored 4 goals. And
against Wolves.
And he had one, no, it was at Wolves.
And he had one Wolves, that was the Madueke hat-trick.
And I was like,
wasn't it Brighton?
Brighton.
Unbelievable. Just
but
absolutely tore him to bits.
Yeah.
But then he can go games and he can go hiding,
Odegaard does as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're both special players where I don't feel like they're massively reliant on athleticism. They're both, in terms of touches, like Cole Palmer could take a touch, he'll nutmeg you, he'll run around the side of you, and he's not necessarily, like, you look at him and you think, he's a bandy, lanky kind of geezer. Like, how is he getting away from like players and the touches he's taking? And very, very smart player.
They're both intelligent, very intelligent footballers.
It's tight. Like I'd probably go Cole Palmer on terms of ability-wise, in terms of striking of a ball, probably a bit better.
Yeah.
Awareness, Odegaard maybe, but just in terms of dribbling and creating things out of
How old is
himself.
Palmer now?
22, 23, 22.
And Odegaard's about 26 now, isn't he?
25.
What was you gonna say?
It's a tight one.
About what?
I don't know. He was about to say something. He stopped.
Oh no, that game that was Brighton, but Brighton that game was a weird one because Brighton were just all over the shop really. So yeah.
Okay, all right, we're just gonna move on quickly. Shaun, you're saying to me, obviously speaking about
the protest. No.
That was a while ago,
out
isn't it?
there.
I'm not promoting anybody.
Stamford Bridge got smashed up in it already.
Listen, there ain't much down there. Was it?
It's not that bad.
It's down. The button's
not that
died.
bad, is it?
You needed a bumper clock there, man.
Everything's crashing. What's happening, man? Yeah, the protest.
Yeah. No, because because Chelsea fans have. See, I don't want to be going down the long route of being in that position where Man United were, where it's like you're changing managers, you're not really profile. No, but like it's been 10 years. What United have been going through to not be able to sort out the hierarchy of who's in control, who's recruiting these players, who's coaching these players good enough, are the players good enough on the pitch? So we're just like the protest for me, like a random Twitter account. Literally next to no followers, 7 followers, said that, if none of the big social media people are trying to do a protest, then I'm just going to start it off. And then all of a sudden it just sparked from there, and they tried to organise the protest outside the bridge. Couple, like 100 people or so turned up for like half an hour, but just the wrong sign, like they were sending the wrong signals to what they were protesting about. And then you can't go from Southampton midweek after work, protest, and then next game you're at Leicester, no one's protesting, because if it meant that much to you, you'd keep protesting. So you haven't protested. You've just stopped. And the signals, the signs that you're trying to put across, they're talking about Todd Bowley because he's on the board of a ticketing site prior to even when he came to Chelsea anyway. It's not like as if he just signed to them now, but he's been selling tickets. And obviously, a lot of the Chelsea tickets were going online and it was premium costs and you'd have to spend an arm and a leg. And the members weren't able to buy tickets. It was like season ticket holders, everything else was on the sites. That was in what Todd Bowley was a part of, but there's just more concerning issues that the protest needs to be about. Like when Stanley and Stewart, the recruitment and the project of just trying to buy young, it's unsustainable because the money that we've spent on all these youngsters, like I said, we've spent money on the first team as well. So that lies with Winstanley and Stewart with the recruitment of the players. But in terms of the project kind of thing, we've spent £400 million on players that we have not seen play for the club. They're either out on loan or they're just out on loan. They can't come here yet. So spending that amount of money going towards that kind of stuff, that saves, like, because I'm like, if you can sign, like, it's not like some players haven't been expensive. Cucurella's been expensive. Caicedo was expensive. Enzo was expensive. But the quality of the players, what quality players are going to, like, it doesn't match up to me. Wages correlate alongside transfer fees. Yeah. So when you go for £120 million, you're expected to be on like 280 a week, 300 bags a week. A player's going to rate himself saying, well, all right, yeah, I'm worth that money on the transfer. I'm going to make a lot of money on the transfer fee, but I'm also going to be earning big wages. What players are getting signed for big fees and coming here for £120,000 a week, £100,000 a week? You don't add up. The quality of the player, they're probably thinking, right, I'm taking the move here. Like so many, Mudryk probably thinking, I've nicked the move here. Like, I'm not that.
Yeah,
I'm not
100%,
that good.
yeah.
Cost us 80 million quid.
Yeah.
I'm on 100 bags a week for 8 years.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna have to get paid out of my contract, I'm gonna get a big lump
They're
sum
laughing.
anyway.
Yeah, they're chilling. They're laughing.
We paid 20 million pound out for Malang Sarr. Like he never played a game for us, but we gave him a 7-year contract. That was under the old ownership. But we've got so many of them now.
Yeah.
So many youngsters that might not. We're feeding them out on loan as a form of profitability possibilities. But Cassidy went out on loan. Didn't make no money. We took a loss on him. Amari Hutchinson's the only player that we made 20 million pounds on. If you look at the list of players that we've spent on, for them to be going abroad, they have to impress for the teams that they're playing for their value to be even in demand. Because
you got an Andre Santos kid on loan as well.
Andre Santos,
he's doing well, isn't he?
He's doing well, but then that's what I mean. You're going to have to get all of them to perform to get even a profit on your money. Otherwise, you're going to lose money. And all that money that we've spent on those youngsters, we could have attributed to the wages of signing better quality players to come to the bridge. Because we're not in a position of we've won things recently, so people want to come to us because we're successful. They want to win things. They're going to have to come here for wages. So if they're going to want to come...
And London. And
London, of course. You want to come to London. But if we're offering up them wages, I'll be looking around at Arsenal saying, well, Arsenal's in a better position. They're more closer to winning something than we are. If Arsenal are going to offer me that kind of money and we can get a transfer from there, I'd rather go Arsenal. We're not in a position to be expecting players to come to us anymore. We're having to give out... That's why I don't understand this whole thing of like this project young stuff and 100 grand a week for 20-year-olds. It don't make sense. So
you know, a bit of a pickle because who are you going to move out now? Who goes? And it's going to be hard to sell some of these
56 players in the squad.
Wow, that's mad.
No, I've got it on.
We wouldn't be saying this. So
Wow.
if the players that you are buying do
players
hit,
in the
If you know what, that is, if it had worked, you wouldn't be saying anything. But
No, but like, who have we got? Like, you see, when you look on the bench for Chelsea on certain weekends, like on the weekend against Europe, we had 2 goalkeepers on the bench. We had no attacking forward.
and the thing
We had
is that-
nothing.
and both the goalkeepers are useless.
Yeah,
And do you know? And,
No, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
That Mudryk situation, I was just thinking as you were saying that because we were going to sign him for like I think it was 75 minutes, and then you guys come in and hijacked it, like back in the day.
win for you lot.
Because we were going to sign Petr Cech and
Yeah.
Drogba, and we were going to sign what's his name? We went to Real Madrid from you guys. Oh, what was his name? Mental block.
For who?
Robin.
Who?
Robin.
No, that guy. I think we were going to sign him. Anyway, you hijacked the Mudryk deal, and mate, he has been terrible.
And it's
we
just a
bought
big cash
Trossard
loss.
for 27 million, and he's recent form, but he's been head and shoulders. I remember at the time he started banging goals for us, and we were like, and obviously
He had a
happened to
good season
Mudryk?
last season, Trossard.
He was great. He was great.
but it's a big cash loss. Like, it's just you look at some of the players. It's like I've got like 56 players, but we've got 8 goalkeepers.
Not one good one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But Penders cost us 17 million. Like Jorgensen cost us 20, Slanina cost us 8, Petrovic cost us 13. Kepa's still on the books. He cost us 70 million.
He's
And
on
then-
loan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on loan. But like the players that you don't know
He's
of,
the most expensive.
yeah,
keeper.
but it's just like the players that you don't know of, like Wiley, 8.5 million. No one knows who Wiley is. Denner cost us 12 million. No one knows who he is. Don't even know where he is.
When did you sign these guys though?
This is within the Clear Lake model. So in the last year and a half, 2 years, yeah. And Sormino, 15.5 million pounds. Sarr, 11.9 million pounds. Amugu, 12 million. Kellyman, 19 million.
I remember that one. Yeah, Kellyman. Yeah.
Isugu, 18.5
Wasn't
million.
that Kelly one? Kellyman one though a bit of. Didn't you get him from Villa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Villa.
It was a PSR thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like you, Newcastle, and Villa all.
But it's like these players, it's like Quenda obviously we just signed, but like Esteval is on loan, and Paez, Whisper Richards, 17.5 million. Whisper Richards, like no one knows it. Washington cost us 17 million. Dacho cost us 10. Stav Payev, 3.5 million.
Do you know what? It
It's
sounds
mad.
like a Pez. You remember the Pro Evolution Soccer?
Yeah.
When they make up
Yeah.
names. It
Yeah.
sounds like it's a made up name. From
Yeah,
like,
they've made up names. It's like,
Yeah.
and that's where our funds have gone towards. And if they don't perform, like I said, for the clubs they're at, how are you like? Because it's like you're giving someone a tester. Like, here, have this car, drive it around for a week, see if you like it. Come back to us next week. If you like it enough, you'll probably buy it off us. But we're hoping that they like it, because otherwise, where are we getting the money from? They're not coming into the team
So
to better our team.
where are you guys at with PSR at the moment? Are you guys like clear, or are you guys?
I
like,
don't
in
have a
trouble?
clue with the financial market. I don't think anyone really knows how much we're in within. Like 55 players on the books, what are their wages on? Like I don't know what we're within. We need a ban anyway, because let's work with all these players then, if that's the case. Because what's the point of signing £360 million worth of development players when you're not developing them properly within your own club?
Completely agree. Yeah.
You lot are in shit then.
Yeah.
Do you know what the manager was going for all them goalkeepers? Do you know your best goalkeeper is?
Well, there's still quite a few on there.
He hasn't finished yet, mate.
Yeah, which one? There's Sanchez, Penders, Jorgensen, Bergstrom, Slanina, Kepa, Petrovic, and Bettinelli.
Yeah, do you know the best goalkeeper out of a lot of them is?
Who?
Kepa, and he's on loan.
Yeah. It's like
he's the best. He's been fantastic for Bournemouth.
Kepa's not bad. Like I was never really about like he had his mistakes because of the way we tried to play. And he got packed in from far. Like a lot of goals would go past him, but they were screamers. But they always for me, he was okay. Like he's quick reflexes. He was quick to the ground. He was fast. He weren't bad on penalties, but yeah, obviously he had some flappy hands here and there. So it's like it's hard, man.
Sanchez is a problem, isn't he?
Sanchez is a problem, and he flaps at everything. He's stupid. He doesn't know what pass he's playing. Sometimes they ask him to play. I know it's a managerial thing. They're telling him to play, and he keeps making the mistakes, and he's keep being told to do it. So it's like I can't even blame him because we'll get on, but like a lot of the fans will get onto him behind the goal.
Yeah, you can
and
sense it.
They'll just say, knock it long.
What's your thoughts on Maresca? Because I feel like this is just my opinion. If you lot start off slow next season, he could be in big trouble.
He's one of the main reasons. He's also another issue to what's going on. But it's just we've got so many overpowering issues that his is being a bit shadowed. Like it's going under the radar. It's overlooked. Yeah. But for me. He came in, started the season, I like touchline wingers. All of a sudden now, you got Pedro Neto, who's a touchline winger, and you got Nkunku, but you play Nkunku on the left, and you play Pedro Neto down the middle, but you like touchline wingers. You've played Cucurella at left back, you've played him in a 10, but yet you want overlapping fullbacks. You've got he sent out people on loan. Like you've got on the weekend we had Tyreek George.
Yeah, he could play. Him. Yeah.
I think he's horrible. I call him. I call him C-Tech Saka because he's not B-Tech. He's not B-Tech. No, because B-Tech is a good player.
I think
Saka is A class. I call him C-Tech because I don't think he's. I think he's crap. But we had no attacking outlet. We put Felix out on loan. Like you put João Felix out on loan and kept Dewsbury. Boy, he's better than Dewsbury Hall.
Can I just clear that up? I think that was the maddest bit. You got him on loan and you had him.
Knew that
and
he
then
was
you
decent.
got him back and then you bought him and then you sent him out on loan.
Yeah, stupidity.
Just like, what?
And now Milan are sending him back again. Milan said we don't want him.
Milan don't want him as well.
They don't want him.
What's wrong?
But I don't know what's wrong with him. But he's got to be better than Dewsbury Hall. And it's just even if they're not better. We need options. Yeah. Why are they not here? We got no
Jackson's
attackers.
Injured now. You got no striker. You would have probably played yesterday.
How does Melando on him? What's going on?
Listen, I feel like he's got a lot of talent. I don't know what it is with him. He's very talented. He's got techers, like the way he strikes the ball and everything. There's something about his game, and I just don't understand why he won't settle anywhere. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's
I don't think you would. If you got like loaned into a club and then they thought, oh, do you know what? And they bought you and then they've loaned you out. You'd be like, what's going on here? I don't get that at all. But it's like we did that with Odegaard. We had him on loan, and then obviously he went back, and then we're like, right, we're going to buy him. It would be then like loan him out again. Just leave the player. Leave him alone.
He's in a Havertz kind of situation. He's a player that you don't know where to put around for what kind of a system. He's a good player because we saw what he had when he came to us. Before Cole Palmer was here, it was like when Felix came in, I'm like, fucking hell. That loan spell, like he was cold. Like so, I'm like, there's got to be something or some team there for him. It's just about who he plays with. I don't know if he needs a supporting striker. He at Barcelona he was played on the left as a substitute most of the time. I just don't know where he plays.
Because he was like a hot prospect.
Because of course
he cost over 100 million when he went to Atletico.
He was on the scene and he's not hold. We remember him from 6 years ago because that's how long it's been as a 17, 18-year-old when he popped up in the Atletico versus Barcelona kind of or the Madrid derbies and that, and he would pop up. But yeah, I don't know what's happened with him.
Do you rate him, Felix?
I used to, because he's. I feel like there's a difference between like having ability and actually being able to play football, like professionally. He's got a ton of ability. When you see him, he's got a decent touch. He's technical. He can turn on a dime. I saw him in the Champions League doing a bicycle kick and it spanked off the crossbar like a few years ago for Atletico. And I was like, this kid is going to be amazing. But when you see his application in the game, it's like he can kind of play 3 positions, can't play any. And then, like you said, that's like Havertz. But then you get players like that. You've always had players like that coming through. So. I don't know.
Time's flying, man. It went quick. I asked the guys to do an all-time Premier League 5-a-side team. So we're gonna start from. Who wants to go first?
Not me, because
We're gonna start with Marty then. All-time 5-a-side Premier League team. Let's go.
Right, so this is interesting, right? And I'm gonna explain my choice. Right, goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
And this is when you're talking about 5-a-side. I'm gonna stick David Raya in goal, and I'll tell you why. Because 5-a-side.
I thought he was going somewhere else, and I was gonna say, do you know what? You've got my player, but
No,
he went David Raya. I was like,
I'm gonna explain this, and I'll tell you why.
All time.
5-a-side, okay? 5-a-side. The ball's banging off the sides. This is about reaction time. You want quick players. David Raya's his reaction to the second ball. I have not seen a goalkeeper. The amount of double saves. Remember that one against Atalanta, that penalty save?
Yeah.
That was like, what? Like,
and
he
down.
did it against Villa.
And did he do 2 in one game?
Yeah, mate, this geezer's unbelievable. His second ball, his reaction rate is that's what I would have gone for. David Seaman or Peter Schmeichel or potentially Petr Cech. But they're slower guys. 5-a-side, you need lightning quick players. That's why.
Cool. Right,
okay.
Cool.
Then I want to go with Ashley Cole.
it's a bit Arsenal heavy, isn't it? Already?
No, hang on. Okay, but he played for Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
What is it? Is it Arsenal? And this is the next player. Next player I'm going to go for. I'm going to go with John Terry.
Getting 2 defenders.
Yeah.
5-a-side.
Yeah.
Why John Terry?
He's
Because
got
they're a bit more though.
Arteta tactics.
Listen.
listen, it's his team. It's his team. It's his team.
Team defence.
Normally, it's like no overhead height in 5-a-side. You know, right?
Listen, John Terry is a solid player. He's solid.
Cool.
It would have either been Keane or Vieira, okay? But you need that. So, Ashley Cole, he's got legs on him. He's quick. He's lightning quick. And John Terry's solid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like for me, John Terry's probably one of the best players I've seen. I just fully rate him.
Yeah.
I really
Right,
do.
cool.
I think he is that good. He's won it all.
You got 3 dodgy picks. No, you got 1 dodgy pick.
All right, and
Terry's a
then
bit
I'm going to
dodgy.
go with Thierry Henry.
Cool. You going to an Arsenal?
No. And then I'm going to, and I'll tell you, I'm going to stick Mohamed Salah in.
Salah as well, yeah.
Yeah, I am. Even though after the conversation we had about Salah not turning up in the big games, I've got a feeling he might not turn up in my big games for my 5-a-side team.
Alright, go on, Shaun.
But like, I'm glad he actually picked up on the points of about being 5-a-side because, like you said, like with goalkeepers, you want to be very grounded. Obviously, the goals are small. You have to be quick to ground. So when I was looking, I was thinking of more David De Gea because like when he was talking about David Raya, I was like David De Gea's more probably reflexes,
Saves with feet.
Yeah, saves with feet, good with his feet, quick reactions. Like he was always known as a quick because otherwise, like you said, I could put in Peter Schmeichel, and Peter Schmeichel could probably be on the brink of that kind of conversation. But David Raya, Petr Cech, even Alisson units, like a lot of them goalkeepers are tall units, 11-a-side kind of players. So I would probably go with David De Gea in goal.
Okay, cool.
Centre half, you'd want someone that's in 5-a-side. If you're gonna have one defender, like I'd play one defender. So it's like you need to have a ball playing centre half, but can also get around. So I'd probably would also have someone like Rio. I'd have Rio in there. Because Rio was a good ball playing centre half. You could potentially have Van Dijk in there. Good passes of the ball with their feet, centre halves that can also defend quite well. So you need a balance. And then I'd probably have Kante in there because 5-a-side, you're not really.
To throw your Chelsea man in there.
No, because do you know why? Because 5-0. No, but
agree with
5-0 is like you said, you got to bust around places in short spans, and Kante doesn't need to be reliant on his passing 50 yards. It's just he's been elite for us over the years of just being able to get the ball and just get it 5-10 yards, little spin around the corner. You don't have to demand much from him as a player. Just in 5-0, go and break up the play, give it to the superstars. So I'd have him there, and then the superstars who I'd have in front of him is people like I would have Eden and I would have Thierry because I want a killer and I want someone to be able to be also dribble and be able like that. So that would probably be my 5.
Cold. Good to you. All right, I'm going to go next. I've got David De Gea. You have 2. I've got Van Dijk. I'm going to go Van Dijk. Midfield, I'm going to go Stevie G. Engine.
Yeah, can shoot as well from the halfway line.
He's everywhere. He'll be everywhere, Stevie G. I'm going to go David Silva.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Midfield,
Good shot, yeah.
Skillful playmaker. And then up front, I'm going to go... I don't know, That's a good question. Suarez.
Suarez, yeah.
It's good for my team.
Same. Yeah, half
I'm going to go
plays
Suarez. I think I'm going to go Suarez.
I'm surprised you won't put Henry in that.
He
I
forgot.
always
He
pick
forgot.
Henry, man. Nah, I
Yes,
always
I
pick
know,
Henry.
I know.
I thought I wanted to go a bit different.
But all the
That's why
old
I
adverts,
normally
all the old adverts of the
Yeah.
clips of him playing 5-0 and that
Yeah.
kind of being
Yeah,
able
he
to
was
hold
ball.
up, because as well, like in 5-0, you want to hold up and you want to ball roll, whereas Suarez is more of in the run for me. But yeah, Thierry, I thought Thierry was guaranteed for Jaden.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's guaranteed mostly just because he's one of them just completely dynamic players that can score from anywhere. He'll take your team on. He'll smash it in from outside the box. He'll do it, and he can tackle, and he's aggressive.
Skillful, yeah.
He's got the lot.
I'm just switching up, all right? Don't you know attacking it,
It's
man.
just, after you beef my Ashley Cole and my John Terry tweet, I was
getting
like,
to
no,
fight
no,
back,
no,
yeah.
I'm having this. I was like, everyone had a problem with my Ashley Cole choice. I was like, hey, because also Ashley Cole runs from distance. And look, he used to play. He originally started as a forward player, but anyway.
All right, go on, Tom. You said I nicked half your team, but hey.
Yeah, he did. I'm gonna go with Pepe Reina in goal
Good shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
because he's short as well, so he doesn't need to, get that far down. Ricardo Carvalho,
Great ball playing.
centre
player.
back. David Silva,
Oh, you got
JJ Okocha.
Am I allowed to say two words?
You really want Joga Benito 5-0?
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
You know what? I almost put Christopher Samba in at striker, just for the name, Samba. But no, it'd be Suarez as well.
You and Suarez.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Go on, Frankie boy.
I'm going all out attack, man. I ain't messing about. You'll put 4 past my team, but we'll score 5. So I've got David
Old
De Gea
school
in goal.
United.
Yeah, mate. I've got David De Gea in goal for the obvious reasons. I've got Kante as my only defensive player.
Oh, you're going to
Just because he's just going to get about everywhere.
Yeah. I hear it.
You know, that's a good
Then
shout.
I've got Paul Scholes in there.
Oh my God, here we go.
Obviously, I've got to keep it real, man. I've got to keep it real. I've got Eden Hazard as well.
Yeah, baller.
Just because you're not going to get the ball off him in it.
Yeah,
and,
vibes.
It's between Suarez and Rooney.
I think
Yeah,
Rooney's
Rooney's
a good
street
shout, you
player.
know.
And I'm going to go with Rooney just because because you've got one defensive player, you need that fight in there as well. Kante and Rooney and Scholes as well, and then you've got Hazard. So I feel like they can get a few goals between them as well. But yeah, that's my
So I've
team.
won. My team wins.
Who wins? Guys, who
My
wins?
team
Yeah,
wins.
let us know, guys.
Yeah.
This team
comment.
wins, man. I think I got the best team personally.
Yeah, well,
Shut up, mate.
I think Marty.
What? Mate, that's so...
I don't think you're gonna score many goals.
You don't think I'm going to score many goals?
Is it
Mate,
park
Mate,
in the
I'm
bus
keeping-
in 5
I'm
sides?
keeping it tight at the back. Ashley Cole's got the engine. He's getting about the pitch. He's clearing things up and he's assisting and scoring. And then you've got Henry and Salah.
It's 5 aside, not 11.
That's why the dynamic is a good question, because there's so many greats, but they're 11-a-side players, and it's like
Yeah, I agree.
for 5-0, it's a lot different.
Yeah, different game.
Okocha's just, I might not actually win. I'm just going to get nutmegs everywhere, aren't I?
What about JJ Okocha?
Yeah. He's going to be kicking it off the fence, like everything. Oh, man.
There's a lot of ballers that you could have in there from the Prem if you got all time.
Yeah, let us know, guys.
Yeah, let us know who wins. Quick, I'm going to move on quickly. England squad. It's been a busy topic because a lot of people not happy with the squad. Jordan Henderson's in the squad. Carl Walker's still in the squad. What's your lot's thoughts on it? We'll start with you, Tom. You've been a bit quiet today.
Yeah, I know. We didn't really touch much on Liverpool. I'm glad.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I had more to say on Slot. He's really pissed me off. But look, we've got another Gareth Southgate in Tuchel, in my opinion. I don't think he's the right man for the job. I can't see us going anywhere with him. And I'm kind of surprised, but not surprised at who he's picked and how he's picked the team, because I feel like he could have went 2 ways. He could have went with, let me pick players on form and sort of see how they're going to perform for England, or let me just pick tried and tested and then maybe weed out the players that obviously we don't want. So he can go, okay, I've picked Henderson, I've picked Walker. Now we definitely know that's not going to happen again. And then they can bring in the likes of like Jed Spence. I think Jed Spence should have got called up. I think that's ridiculous he didn't get called up. He's been the best left back in the Prem, arguably, this season.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know. I want to hear you guys' opinions more than anything.
Listen, as Gibbs White being called up?
Yeah,
now
he's
he
got
has,
late called up. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
just
late
wanted to
one.
know that. Yeah.
What do you think about the England squad?
It's for me. It's like Tuchel's probably one of the best cup managers that you can probably ask for. He's a great coach. Like I was upset when we lost him for Graham Potter. I thought it was the worst decision ever. But in terms of the team as well, like when you look at our team, England, we're not the greatest in depth at the back, and I think where he's done it with this call up is like I don't think any manager has ever come into England and gone, straight to like, oh, let me pick the players that are our fancy, that are playing well at the time. Mostly every single manager that's ever come in for England has just gone, right, let me just pick everyone who's been playing for England for a long time.
That's what they do.
And
then experience.
Yeah, and because it also makes him look better. Like, if I can give you what you've had for ages, and then I, like you said, weed out certain players that are not the greatest, like the Hendersons and Kyle Walker, that's probably getting on a bit. And yeah, we've got a good enough team. Most of our team is greatly stacked in the forward areas, but in terms of our defending, this is where I think Tuchel will probably be able to get the best out of it, because he plays a back five. He's used to playing a back five, and you look at our defenders. You're looking at Mark Guay, he's our best defender, arguably, at centre half. We're having to ask for
average as well.
Like Mark Guay, he's decent, but it's not world class level. John Stones is getting on. Kyle Walker, he's brought back into the team probably just because of the flexibility of playing right centre back, and he plays the 5, and that's why it's probably got Reece James there, because he's played him in a right centre back role. And yeah, it's just we don't have much of a depth to the centre halves. Thank God, like I'm saying, Ben White making himself available gives us another option at centre half. But other than that, we ain't got many left backs. Like you said, Jed Spencer's been playing well this year. He should be getting a call up. Like 100%. Jed's come on leaps and bounds. I was watching the Euros semi-final with Jed and his sister and a couple of us lot in the box park in Shoreditch. And like, even from then, I'm like, he never got a call up even then. And from going from that to now, him and Archie Gray have been excellent. And Archie Gray is a centre midfielder. He's playing centre half, and Jed's been moving all over the place, being asked to do mini roles. So yeah, there are some players that are going to be able to come back in. Like I think Adam Wharton should be
100%
getting called up. He's just come back from injury, but eventually I think he will be another arguable player to go in alongside playing with Declan Rice. For me, I feel like I've held so many spaces on about England and the tactical kind of thing of what we can gear towards, but Jude Bellingham, I think, should have played alongside Declan Rice in the double pivot, because ever since he's gone to Real Madrid, they've just got it in their minds that let's just put him up front, let him roam in the areas, let him just be an option, and let's bounce off of Jude Bellingham, let him be the game winner. He's not that guy to be like that.
I said this as well.
Why don't just play him and Bellingham and Declan Rice together like they did in the previous tournament when we actually performed well, just got knocked out just about by France, and at least then we free up someone else in that 10 role that can. Do you get me? Like it doesn't have to be Cole Palmer. It could be Foden. It could be anyone.
Gibbs White, maybe Gibbs
White, Morgan Rogers,
Rogers,
has deserved a call up. Like Morgan Rogers has been a great
he's
player.
Been called up, hasn't he? Morgan Rogers.
Has he been called up?
Yeah,
I haven't actually seen the full list, but
I think he's been
Morgan Rogers,
quality player,
definitely deserves to get called up. And then, I think Tuchel will eventually find a way to be able to play for us. And
we've got 4 goalies.
Yeah, effectively,
3.
I don't understand that either. I think that's
crap goalies though.
Ramsdale don't need to be in there.
Ramsdale don't need to be in there.
England have such a great coaching system for goalkeepers, yet we produce no goalkeepers over the last 10, 15 years. Like, they've all been crap.
Yeah, I mean, Pickford nationally has been a really good goalkeeper.
Yeah,
for
nationally.
You can't argue.
I can't blame Pickford, but in general.
Squad, do you know what? I kind of resent international football a bit. The international break, it breaks up club football. I can't stand it. If I'm honest with you, I kind of, every time it comes round, I'm like, what players are we going to get back or not get back, and what condition are they going to be in? And the whole Tuchel appointment, I hope I'm really wrong. We need to, one major trophy in the last 50 years, 70, 60 years, is not good enough return for the quality of the players. I think there's something flawed with the England setup in that respect. We've got so close and not got it over the line. The squad, this huge argument for, like with the Kyle Walker, I think that's and the Henderson, is that going backwards, or is that him safeguarding and bringing himself into the job role well, knowing what he's getting from those experienced England players? Is he just bringing them in, like, for example, Arsenal have got Jorginho at the club, not because he's going to play week in, week out, but what he brings in the backroom to steady the ship and to make that integration from him being the new England manager, bringing back the old boys. They're going to back him. He knows they've got a big presence in changing rooms, and is that really going to help him with his role?
He would arguably have that with having
Kane.
James.
Yeah.
Did Kane play for Bayern?
No. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he
did play under
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. Do you know what? I get all of that. I really, really do. But I don't think you need more than a couple of people. I think you only need a couple of people there.
There's reasons why managers always seem to do that, and you think, why is this player?
Yeah,
here?
but I just
Same thing that we had with Conor Cody. Conor Cody was in the camp just to be a leader in the camp when we called him up for the Euros. It was weird, but
that's my mental, because a leader in the camp when he's never even really been in the England.
I know,
in
it's
the
mad.
England.
No, but we don't know what's going on in training behind the scenes. How they
do you know what? Sorry to interrupt. The other thing I would say as well is you got to look at the opposition. Like, no disrespect, we got Albania, who we should be beating, really, with what a talent we got. And who's the other team that we play? Latvia. We should be beating these teams, man. Like, I'm sorry, if ever you want to give an opportunity to these players, this is it. It's a competitive game. There's no league in the world that's as physical as the Premier League. No league that compete with our physicality. A lot of these players play in the Premier League. And technically, they're very good players. Like I said, if you want experience, you've got... Kyle Walker, I kind of understand, because like you said, defensively, we're not great. But you don't need Jordan Henderson.
Even the Quantsa called up, and
brother,
he's hardly even played.
This is what I mean. Like,
I was
He's
like,
not even played.
Yeah, he didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But again,
is
like
what I mean.
we're so far away from the tournament. There's so much more time to be
Maybe.
considering it. Like, hopefully down the line, it becomes a lot more easier, because conversations, players playing now, performing now, even for their country, I don't think it guarantees them to play later on down the line for when the tournament comes around. I think when the tournament comes around, you're going to be like, I feel like the form that happens for players later on in the next season is going to overtake a performance against Albania and Latvia a year and a half ago. Do you know what I mean? It's like eventually, if people can consistently keep playing well for their clubs, they're going to force their hands to have to put them in. But it's like Ivan Toney not being like, Solanke got called up. Ivan Toney never got called up. Would you have put Ivan Toney before Solanke, before Ivan Toney went out to Saudi?
Before we went to Saudi, yeah, definitely.
You'd have had Ivan Toney. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's made you not want to choose Ivan Toney just because he's in Saudi?
Yeah,
but like, it doesn't change the fact that
Watkins is injured, is he? Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins is injured.
Is he?
Is Watkins injured? No, he came. Did he come back?
Yeah, he played Friday.
Or something.
No, I think he's not. He wasn't.
He played last Friday.
Because Solanke should not be getting over.
He's just come back from injury.
No way.
He's just come back from injury, Solanke.
Who's that?
Solanke.
Solanke, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
What do you think about Hudson-Odoi not being called up?
That's another one. I mean, he's come through the ranks as well, Hudson.
He likes
I
Rashford,
think they've
doesn't
been
he?
playing well, man. I think.
Look,
Rashford has regalvanised himself massively.
Yeah, Rashford was always going to get called up.
Consistent for
He's all right.
Forest over Rashford.
Rashford was always going to get a call up, and I said this to you guys ages ago because Tuchel loves Rashford. He wanted to buy him when he was at PSG.
Yeah.
He rates him very, very highly. He even said in a press conference, United might not be utilising him the way that I would. He's very effective.
I think Rashford, if I'm honest with you, I would have taken him in a heartbeat at Arsenal in the January transfer window.
He's on camp board.
100%. And everyone says, I just think he'd been at United for so long and needed a fresh challenge.
Yeah.
I agree with his England call-up.
Yeah.
Like, does Reece James?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi, he's been all right, but I don't even think he's done better numbers than what he did the previous season. I think his numbers are better last season than what he did.
I think because Forest are doing well, it
makes him look a lot better. It's like he's definitely better than Elanga. I think
Elanga's out here.
Elanga's numbers are better, but in performance-wise, Hudson-Odoi is better.
Yeah.
In terms of his output, in terms of numbers, it hasn't been great this season. It's been all right, but yeah.
Well, you've watched him close. Sorry, you've watched him closer, haven't you, Hudson-Odoi?
Yeah.
Chelsea. So
what is it with England and the youth? So Hudson-Odoi was like a top youth academy player.
50-60 million pound Bayern Munich offer.
Eddie Nketiah,
He hardly ever played at Chelsea.
Under 21s goal scorer. Nowhere to be seen. Marcus Rashford again. He's gone off. How comes these academy players they're so good at youth? Lingard, another one.
There's a difference between youth and men's football.
No, but what?
You'll probably
players, they drop off so bad. A lot of them.
You'll see it better
when they get signed up 250 grand a week. It's done, isn't it? The hunger goes. The hunger's very different from being on. I know to say 10 grand a week sounds insane, doesn't it? But and then they get signed up, and you see it with players. I see it with Aubameyang at Arsenal years ago. That was when I first really saw it. He went from banging in a goal every one in two to 1 in 5, 1 in 6, completely different players, stuck on 300 grand a week or whatever it was. 200.
The money really throws them away.
Yeah, it does. It does. You can see it. They're millionaires that play football, not football players that are millionaires. And do you know what? Look, one thing I see with Sterling at the moment, he's on like 320 grand a week. Part of it is he's got a massive house build going on in Ascot, £40 million house build, right? I'm in construction. I understand the amount of mental space that goes into projects. He's got that project going on, and you can see he's not at the races. They've got too many off the field activities going on, which it turns your head, and also the hunger goes. It's like, for example, someone like Sterling. So he's picking up his money. That's where he's going. He's looking at when football ends. He's looking at look, and that's where they're at. And I do.
Yeah, but Sterling's been here since he was 17.
He needs to stay out of Big Ben's. He needs to stay out of Big Ben's.
I
caught him in Big Ben's the other day getting a piece of chicken and chips. It's a shop in Harlesden.
Listen, if he's been at it since he's 17, great. But he's at Arsenal now. He's been at it since he's 17, great. Whatever, and I respect it. But you're at Arsenal now, mate, and you're getting paid a load of money. That loads of people. You need to perform. Your head needs to be in the game. You've got plenty of years to build houses, mate.
Yeah, but he's talking about like young talents that come through and then don't quite make it where they're good in youth. Was Sterling ever really like known in the youth? Apart,
Not really.
He just sort of randomly came. We got. I think
Brendan
we got
Rodgers
him from
brought
like
him in.
West Brom or QPR, and then like obviously he had blister in place, so he's just got into our attacking lineup, and then from then he's just gone on an upwards trajectory. But you've got like
Reece Nelson's another one, like youth academy.
Yeah, there's so many.
They're not performing though.
The under-21s team right now is looking very, very good. You're probably going to see a lot more of a shift in that different England bring up now. I need to try and find it.
Where's the team that won the under
21s World Cup?
Yeah.
That's a prime example of where they were.
It's like what Foden, Palmer, and Trafford are like the only ones that are really. Gibbs White.
Gibbs White was part of the.
Hudson-Odoi was in there as well. I'm sure he was in that team as well.
Like not many of them are doing big things.
I'm saying. They won the World Cup. You'd expect them to be.
Yeah, but it's a different thing. Like when you go from kids football to adult. If you go around and let's say you walked into a school and played against like a 14, 15, 16-year-old, you right now, I'm hitting the mic, right? The physicality you're going to have compared to them is going to be different. You're probably going to be faster, stronger, taller. In younger football, it's different. Like they're probably more technical. Nketiah might have been like the biggest guy there. But then you get to men's football, he's not.
Yeah. But you look at Nweri, 17, balling.
Hungry.
Skelly.
Hungry.
Kids.
Hungry, yeah, but they're hungry.
Yeah, but there's going to be few talents where they are like that special one. Like Nwaneri, people are trying to call him a generational talent. Skelly's big for his age. When you look at him, that guy's built like a man.
He's a unit, mate.
He's built like a man, you know what I mean?
And he's physical and all. But that's what I'm saying. With a lot of them, there is a lot of stuff that goes on with Premier League footballers. They're on crazy money, and it affects people differently. There's some of them that keep that hunger and keep that high level of performance, and it doesn't affect as much. But there's a lot of players that it does. It really. I mean, look at Dele Alli. Literally fell off a cliff, and then that all come out afterwards. What was going on? Because at the time you're thinking, what's going on with this guy? This guy's like he was at points unplayable. Then literally fell off a cliff, and then look what's come out, and it's a real thing.
It seems like it seems like the players that's not known in the youth academy turn out to be.
I was just gonna say that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Saka, he wasn't one of the standout players. Harry Kane's another one I heard like in interviews. He wasn't standout. Look, Harry Kane.
He wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like some players bypassed the under-21s as well. Like Lewis Skelly's bypassed under-21s. Kobe Mainu bypassed the under-21s. They just jump, but like as soon as they're 17, 18.
They have played under-21 football. It's just that they've bypassed it in terms of just very quickly.
I don't think Mainu did. I don't think Mainu played for the under-21s.
He was in the under-21s, the current squad.
I don't think he did. I think he went straight from, because he played for Man United's first team at 18 when he just turned 18. And then they were like, do you remember when we had that podcast? I said, I reckon he gets into the Euro squad. And then he got called up.
That's because Southgate wanted that man.
They're saying that he's had a recent call up.
Who's that, Mainu?
Yeah.
For under-21s?
Yeah.
I don't think so, no. I don't think he has, because
no, he's not played, but he's been called up.
Oh, that I don't know. I don't think he's played. He's definitely not played.
Yeah, he's not played. But if you look at the talent that you look through the under-21s at the moment, it's crazy, because like, you got Jared Brantford and then you got Rico Lewis.
He should be in the first team, by the way. Brantford. He should be in the first team.
I don't know how Brantford never got
over Quansah. Rico Lewis is not a talent, I'm sorry.
No, Harvey Elliott had caps. Harvey Elliott, James McAtee, you got Archie Gray in there.
Yeah,
Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, he's quality, Anderson.
Hinchelwood's in there. Joby Bellingham, Adam Wharton, Jamie Gittins.
Liam Gittins is one that could have came into this.
Philogene, Amari Hutchinson, Nwaneri. Has been Nwaneri's got called up. If you're looking at the quality of players in there, Lino Livramento, Delap.
Did you think Delap could have got a call up to the England squad? He should have maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
Over flipping.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, potentially, yeah.
He's been playing.
Like Levi Colwell came through it. Obviously, I don't rate him highly, but there's a lot of the under-21 level that's I think they've got big moves, or they're playing for big clubs in the Premier League. They're Tyler Diblin,
Yeah.
He's a baller.
unbelievable player.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Shit, time's flying, man. All right, cool. You're starting 11 for Friday, England squad.
Killing me out here,
Ashley
mate.
Cole.
Do you know what?
Ashley Cole, John Terry,
He can still
Tony
do
Adams.
jobs.
Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, David Beckham.
Should we do a collective one that we all think should start?
Yeah,
Like,
we'll do a collective,
yeah.
yeah.
So like, who in goal is going to be Pickford? Surely. You
Yeah.
start Pickford in goal. Yeah.
You can't put Ramsdale in there. It'd be 4-0 down.
We'll probably
at
get relegated
half-time.
if we stick Ramsdale in there.
Yeah.
All right, right back.
Right back.
Yeah. We've got to agree as well.
Who is it? Is it Reece James?
I don't
Carl
know.
Walker.
Livramento, I'd go.
Have you got it there?
Yeah,
Alright,
the
cool,
squad.
Yeah.
Mm,
Livramento.
Yeah.
I'm going Reece James.
I would go
Reece
Reece James.
James.
Yeah.
I'll go Reece James. The only thing is, on Sunday, every time you see him go to the floor, you think, is he going to be out for another 4 months?
He's just.
Are we playing 4 at the back though?
Nah, he's
It'll
going
be
to go
5,
5.
won't it?
He's going to go 5.
So right wing back, even better for Reece James then, really, because
Did you get me?
he's brilliant. at
Reece
it.
James will play
still
right wing
Reece
back.
James.
How many games is he back from injury? Like 3?
4.
About 3 or 4, yeah, 4.
I'm not starting him. No way. 3 games back from injury. He's going to play half the game and then get injured.
No,
He'll pull his
but
hamstring.
we're going
again.
off. We're going
And he's
off
got- he-
talent.
He
And he's
played
also got
70
no
something odd minutes
form.
yesterday. He played 80 minutes or something like
Yeah,
that.
but if we're going off talent, right? But my argument right now, right? If we're going off talent, Foden starts.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
But we might
Yeah.
start Foden anyway.
Yeah,
Might-
We're
Yeah,
not going to
we'll
start.
yeah, we
Foden.
probably will.
All right, so you're saying Reece James?
Yeah, I'd probably
Reece
go
James,
Reece
right wing back.
Yeah,
I'll go Reece
Alright.
James. Yeah. Left
Right.
wing back.
Are you going straight to left wing back?
Yeah, left wing back. We going
Scully.
Skelly. We going Skelly.
Skelly.
Yeah,
got
if
to play.
Skelly's available, yeah.
Skelly's
Skelly?
got to play.
Do you reckon?
But I don't.
Oh my
No. Do you know what?
He's
No,
gonna
because he
play-
doesn't play wing back.
If we're going on that, I'd put Skelly there, but I don't want him to play because I don't want
Yeah,
him to
yeah,
get
yeah,
injured,
to
mate.
get injured,
Because
yeah.
we've got big games coming up. So
Real Madrid.
if we're talking about that, don't play him. Don't play the guy. Just keep. I don't even go to international. Just stay at home, mate.
All right, well, are we going to go off the mindset of we're going off how Tuchel would play his Chelsea team, basically,
Going
where
off
you would
our
have 2
mindset.
attacking wingers that are just flying up and
yeah,
down?
formation, really.
Because then, if that's the case, I don't think Skelly comes in at left back.
What happens when Hall's available? Because he didn't like Hall when he was at us.
He didn't.
He didn't really play for us.
Who is better? I'm sorry. Who is better currently than Lewis Skelly at left back?
Yeah, but it's how you're going to
no,
deploy them to play.
What's the other options that you've got?
Livramento's the only other option.
Yeah, I'd go Lewis Skelly for now.
No,
Yeah,
I think
Lewis
Lewis Skelly, you can pretty much play him
Yeah.
pretty much anywhere, and he's at the moment he's unbelievable. He's unplayable.
Yeah.
Him and Hall would be a different conversation if he was available.
It's nice that we've actually got options at left back now, isn't it?
Yeah, finally.
Compared to
Oh,
like,
Arsenal got about
Yeah.
6 of them.
From Ben Chilwell and Shaw to Skelly
Yeah,
and Lewis
yeah.
Hall, I'm
Jed
happy
Spence, I'm calling for you, brother.
with. Yeah, Jed as well.
Yeah.
Jed, of course.
centre back
Centre-back.
Gahey's got to start.
Yeah,
He's got
he's
to start.
in there.
Yeah.
Who else
Yeah.
you got?
You got Gay, Burn, Colwell, Quansah, and
Burn's gotta be in
Konsa.
there.
Konsa.
Burn, baby.
Yeah. Not Quansah, man. I don't rate Quansah, man.
He shouldn't have been called up. That is a mental call.
He'll probably play Colwell.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Colwell and probably Dan Burn, but then they're both left footers, aren't they?
Yes, and Burns got after his.
Yeah, after
He's got to
cup
stick him
final
in there.
goal,
Go on.
yeah.
I
He
reckon-
deserves it, man. He's earned his call up, man.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
reckon he goes maybe what Konsa in the centre, on the right, Walker, and then left.
Oh yeah,
Gahey.
Carl Walker. Yeah, Carl Walker will go
also
right
got
Carl
centre back.
Walker probably played right centre back.
Yeah,
Well,
Carl Walker
Carl
will play
Walker
right
played
centre
right
back.
centre back.
Gahey, and then
Gahey and
either
Colwell.
Colwell or Dan Burn. He'll go.
I think he'll play Colwell because he's a bit more
Yeah,
left-footed
Colwell.
Yeah,
ball
yeah.
player.
Yeah, but then
He'll
you
play
need,
Guehi
you need
in
a
the middle.
central centre.
He'll play
centre
Guehi
back.
in there.
Yeah, he'll play Gahey in there. I agree. Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
the centre mids already.
Oh, yeah, and then
Rice,
Colwell left, yeah, that's right,
Bellingham.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so Rice, Bellingham in centre mid
That's
with
standard.
You got Eze, Henderson, Jones, Palmer. Well, Palmer's
Midfield.
out, so
Eze normally plays on the left, I think.
Eze shouldn't have even been picked.
He's been dead this season.
Yeah.
He's been very poor
he's
this
been-
season.
yeah. He's had injuries as
So
well.
you got
Yeah.
Eze, Henderson, Jones, Rice, or Rogers.
In the 10.
I'll go Rogers.
Yeah,
Rodgers.
I'll take Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I
so,
don't
so
mind
are we saying Bellingham and Rice together with Rodgers ahead of them? Is that what we're
Yeah.
saying?
Hey, Rogers in
I just don't
10.
think he would play that though. But
Yeah,
then
I don't
who,
think he'll
who,
play
who
that
else
either.
does he have available to go and play alongside Declan?
You'll play Henderson.
Well, unless
play it.
well, unless he,
Jesus.
You got to play Bellingham.
unless he does
Yeah,
a Rice.
oh, definitely would. Yeah, 100%.
Unless he does Rice and Jones, and then
Even that's,
Jude in the 10.
I don't
But
know
then
if
that's
he'd play Jones
Southgate.
there.
That's what Southgate would do.
We've got the German.
We've got German Southgate. That's all that's running through my mind.
I
Is
don't
this
know
is
if
a
he'd do
Southgate
that.
squad.
I don't know if he would do that.
All right. What? Do you know what? Forget what he do. What are we gonna do?
Oh, I'd play Bellingham. And
Bellingham,
Rice
Rice, and
Yeah.
Rodgers.
and
Is that
Rodgers.
what
Yeah,
we're
that's what
saying,
I would do. Yeah.
All right. That's what we're gonna
Right
go with
wing.
then. Right wing.
Who we got?
Yeah, you got Bowen, Foden,
Bowen.
Gordon, Kane, Rashford,
I'll go.
and Solanke.
I'll go Bowen on the right wing, and I'll go Gordon on the left wing.
Gordon will start left.
Yeah, and obviously Kane
if
up top.
If he
Yeah.
loves
Bowen
Rashford
and
as much, I
Gordon.
reckon Rashford
Gordon,
starts.
No, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
I don't know
Rashford
about
started. But
Bowen's forms, Bowen pops up and scores, man.
Just the way he's been utilised for England, man. He's never really given me a half. He's given me maybe one half decent performance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He never really gets a chance.
by the way,
though.
what I will say is
like
Rashford
Watkins.
dunks on these little lesser teams, man. For
I think
England.
I'll go Rashford.
Yeah,
left wing, you know.
he could do something
I'll
for
go
England.
Rashford left wing over Gordon.
I'll put
I think
Gordon
Rashford
on the
start. I really think he starts Rashford over Gordon as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he starts Gordon.
For now, I think he would. Yeah.
I think he starts Gordon.
I'd put money
But
on
I think
it.
Rashford will definitely.
I'll put 50 quid Rashford starts next Friday.
But you know what? There's 2
He
games. Remember that. So he might change it in the
Yeah,
second game.
it's all. What is it? A 1 week separation?
Is it 1 week? Is
Friday
it?
and Monday. Isn't
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
going to be
1 week
multi.
football.
Yeah,
Yeah, then he'll
multi
definitely,
changes.
yeah.
You lot going? You going to go?
Which one? England.
Again.
I'll probably give them free tickets to go there. It's just, everyone, they're just handouts in the community. Like I get a phone up from the area, and I'm like, "Oh, we've got like loads of tickets." Like,
England tickets, I don't want to meet.
I don't really want to go.
I ain't even
like,
watching it on TV, man.
where am I finding parking? After parking Chalk Hill to walk down all the way to Wembley Stadium.
So what? Kane up top, obviously.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
And then what?
Frank, you gonna do Marty's fire round, Arsenal fire round?
Oh, okay.
Go on.
You've done a fire round before, haven't you?
Yeah, we done the Chelsea.
Did we?
Yeah, a while
Yes.
ago.
Probably took a while, didn't it? 60 players.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Do it now.
Right.
Flipping done. Alright, so basically, so we ask you 2 Arsenal players, your favourite player, and then you just pick who you like.
Some are harder than others.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. All right, Jens Lehmann or David Seaman.
David Seaman.
All right, David Seaman.
David Seaman. It's gone Spanish.
Petr Cech or David Raya.
David Raya. What, for Arsenal? Yeah, David
yeah,
Raya
yeah,
all
for
day long.
Arsenal. Okay.
Czech weren't that great at Arsenal, to be honest.
Yeah,
He was
alright,
very
yeah.
inconsistent.
Ben White or Bakary Sagna.
Ben White.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Benny White.
Tierney or Zinchenko.
Oh, you're killing me here. Oh, Tierney.
Just.
No, do you know what? A few seasons ago, Tierney was like a guaranteed one of the players you wanted on that team.
Yeah,
sheet.
he was.
He was that good. When we had Aubameyang and stuff like that. But then I'm not a huge fan of Zinchenko.
Fair enough.
Really not.
Gael Clichy or Ashley Cole.
Actually, cold day long, man. But
Even though he went to Chelsea, yeah.
Listen, I think he was a much better player when he was at Arsenal than when he was at Chelsea.
Okay, all right. Sol Campbell or Saliba.
Look, Sol Campbell's done it, right? It's Sol Campbell, but Saliba's a phenomenal player. But Sol Campbell, because he's won.
All right, you're not gonna like this, but Vieira or Rice.
Oh no, Vieira, man, because he's done it, and he Rice ain't won nothing yet. And Vieira was the guy.
Gabriel or Koscielny.
Do you know what? Koscielny kind of kept Arsenal's defence together for quite a while. And what I really like about Koscielny is he came from Lyon, and he was just like it's a French second division side, I believe, and he was bought for, I think it was about 400 grand at the time, absolute steal. And Wenger moulded him into a phenomenal centre back. Like he was good.
Yeah, he
and
got better and better.
International, his career just took off, and he was a good player. And I think Gabriel, man, this geezer's nasty, man. Like, Gabriel's nasty. He will get physical with you. It's a tough one. Listen, I love Gabriel, I really do, but obviously I've got to go longevity over the years. I haven't seen enough of Gabriel.
So you're going for Shawnee?
Yeah, I'm going to.
It's a tough one, that one.
It is tough. It is, because I ain't seen enough.
I like Koscielny though.
All right,
Yeah, I love Koscielny.
Pires or Ljungberg?
Oh, Pires.
Just?
Listen, it's close. They're top players, right?
Okay. Odegaard or Ozil?
Come on. Ozil, man. Ozil,
thank God.
listen. Oh, yeah, Odegaard. Listen, Ozil's one of them players, he was like a number 10, assisting, some of the goals he scored were mad. I remember him taking on like teams, running through them, just calmly, like just knocking it past, taking the absolute liberties out of defenders, knocking it past them, running, just slotting it in the net.
Okay.
People used to compare Odegaard with Ozil.
No, you got to.
Disrespect.
That's
See how it's turned out now?
Nah.
Disrespect. Anyway.
All right, Nasri or Cazorla?
Who?
Nasri or Santi Cazorla?
Cazorla all day.
Yeah, Cazorla, man. I don't like Nasri.
Both.
I don't like him, man.
Hold on, wasn't Nasri both footed as well? Because I know Cazorla was.
He's got bad attitude. I don't like him.
Nasri's a baller though.
Nah, he had a stinker, mate.
All right, Van Persie or Alexis Sanchez?
Oh, do you know what? Sanchez all day. Look, Van Persie was not actually that. If you look at his numbers and his stats, he actually only had one really good season for Arsenal. The rest of them, he was injured and he scored like 8 goals, 9 goals, 12 goals, 11 goals.
But
He had one season. He had one. Yeah. And then he had that season at United, and he went on and he banged in goals. But that was at his peak. He weren't like that for Arsenal. That's the truth.
Fair enough.
I don't know, man.
No, he weren't.
I don't know about that one. I think Van Persie was.
He weren't that good, mate. He weren't. If you look at his numbers, and he was always injured.
He was injured for long.
All the time.
He was definitely injured.
And his numbers in the season just weren't that good.
But that season he performed, it was.
Giroud or Van Persie?
Sorry?
Giroud.
No, I was going
to.
is Giroud or Havertz.
That's easy.
Listen, Giroud's France's all-time goal scorer.
But for Arsenal.
Yeah. Giroud's
For Arsenal.
That's disrespect even putting them in the same conversation.
Do you know what? Giroud is another, and this is the thing with Arsenal.
Underrated.
A lot of Arsenal players get really underrated and absolutely lambasted. Giroud was a top player.
Yeah,
he really was.
Player.
And look what he done for France. Like you wouldn't think he was France's all-time leading goal scorer. That goes so under the radar.
And remember, we used to say, why is Giroud playing over Lacazette?
Come on, man, he's a better player. Because he's a much better player.
Good.
Did you rate Giroud at Chelsea?
Yeah, he done a job for us. He was a good link-up player, good finisher, got himself around in the box. He's just a good player.
Right, last one.
And he could Barnet and all.
Ian Wright or Dennis Bergkamp?
Oh, man. The Iceman or Righty.
You don't like Ian Wright no more. He didn't come on my show.
I like, you know, it's hard.
He's like, I don't want anything to do with this.
You've got the second highest goal scorer.
He's a legend.
And he's a complete legend. You know, he broke Cliff Bastin's record. Or you've got Dennis Bergkamp, who probably changed English transfer history when he was brought in. You know, he was probably the gateway for a lot of foreign talent coming into the Premier League at the time. And his touch was phenomenal. And he what I loved about Dennis Bergkamp, he was a player that had bite and needle. You know, he'd drag his studs down your calf, and he'd elbow you, and he'd win physical. He's a nasty player. So he had all that. But Bright will stick it in the back of your net, and he will run around and laugh at you, and I like that as well.
So you're going Ian Wright?
Yeah, I am going to go for Ian Wright. Yeah,
fair enough.
You guys,
fair enough.
Right,
I thought Dennis was one of the best players to ever play in the Premier League.
Serious?
Yeah.
Good shot from a Chelsea.
See, I've got one of my pals. Shout out, bro. He thinks Dennis Bergkamp's one of the most overrated players we've ever seen in the Premier League.
That's crazy.
He scored the best goal.
You're saying that like you agree with him.
No, I don't. I'm just trying to.
Is that Newcastle goal the best Premier League goal ever?
No. Nah, not the best Premier League goal.
Suarez is.
No, Newcastle goal.
Oh, we've had this.
No. Do you know what? I thought the hat-trick at Leicester was better than that. You know where he had the hat-trick with the
when he's brought it down and he's tucked
it.
It
It's
was
just a
You've
flick.
seen nothing like that again.
Mate,
you've never seen
Suarez versus Newcastle was better.
It was. Listen,
my buttons ain't even working.
the flick was unbelievable, and the way he positioned his body and then he slotted it in. It was, but there's something he wasn't like. I know he's never meant as an out-and-out goal scorer. I like more the sort of stuff that I suppose he did off the ball, and like I said, to change the transfer market. But for me, like Ian Wright. Like, he banged goals in, man. He's a finisher. He's clinical. Yeah. And some of the goals he scored, that's how he doesn't get held in that high esteem. It's like his record's almost slightly forgotten because obviously Thierry Henry broke it, and they're, I don't know.
What's the best goal then? Premier League.
There's loads of great goals,
Yeah,
man.
there's
There's goals from players that you would have never.
Suarez, Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think
Do you want to describe the goal?
I think the Giroud, what they call
the
it?
Scorpion kick.
Scorpion. That's got to be up there. That's got
the Bergkamp goal. Nah,
Mate, that Scorpion was unbelievable, mate.
It was behind him. It was behind him.
It's fluke.
Go home and watch that Bergkamp goal again, please.
No. I've seen that goal 100 times.
Watch Premier League top 100 goals, and you'd see some
home,
crazy goals in there.
Yeah, how many of them are just
crazy
like
goals.
luck? It's the luck.
That's not luck, though.
There's an element of luck to some goals.
Bergkamp's goal's not luck.
No, I'm not saying Bergkamp, but I'm saying there'll be goals in there where it's just like someone's just taken a punt for 40 yards and it's gone top bins. Like it's done this and they've got 40 yards. But this is why I say the Suarez one is the best, right? Because Suarez has had a ball clipped into him from behind the halfway line by Jose Enrique. He's running, he's not even broke stride, taken the ball down on his shoulder, first touch with his right foot, ball rolled the keeper and Colaccini, and then passed it in with his left foot. That
I'll tell you what I could say.
It's funny how you're both picking goals from your own team.
Right?
No, but I'd pick that regardless.
Anyway, go on that, Charles.
I think. Sorry,
there's two goals. Sorry. There's 2 goals, and I was saying, listen, they're from one player now from my own team. Henry against Man U at Highbury, when he brings that ball down and he sort of half slices it, and it bends around Barthez. Like, unbelievable. And the other one where he took on the whole Tottenham team, basically. Yeah. And the one where he done the whole Liverpool team, puts Carragher on his arse.
Carragher slipped.
He slipped straight on his arse.
Watch it, he slipped. No, because I had this argument with my mate.
Just like when Zola was turning him in.
He slipped as well, 3 times. He slipped.
No, he buckled him. You see him, he was all at sea.
Carragher, what an over... I can't even talk about Carragher.
I forgot his statement, innit?
No, but I've been on the overlap with him. He's good pal.
That's Mandem, innit?
No,
it's Mandem.
I'd say the best team goal in Premier League history is the Arsenal one. Is Giroud.
Yeah, with
Wilshere and the flicks,
that flick and that move and
against Norwich.
Yeah, the give and go. That was unbelievable.
The Leicester goal was crazy though. The Arsenal Leicester one.
Which one?
When Ozil let it run through his legs.
Yeah, mate. There's a few.
Those flicks. First touch, heel flick.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we've only got 13 Premier League titles, mate. I'll stay out of it.
Papa Cisse against Chelsea. Ridiculous goal.
Yeah, like you're gonna have the crackers that are in there, but it's like you got either team goals, you got individual brilliance.
This is what I'm saying.
Eden Hazard has some individual brilliant goals. Like there's loads of players that have individual brilliant goals.
I'll tell you one of my favourite goals as well. Selhurst Park, David Beckham, Sullivan from the halfway line. That lit up the Premier League. That was one from he just picks. That's what put Beckham on the main.
Yeah, 100%.
He picks the ball up behind the halfway line, sees the keeper off the line, and don't forget as well. At that time, you got taken. If he messes that up at half time, he's getting
roasted by the manager,
ruined, and he's probably not coming back out for the second half from Alex Ferguson. And
who do you think you are?
Hollywood balls like that. That's it. You're off. And his career's probably done.
Do you know what? There's one goal that doesn't get spoken about anywhere near enough, and God rest his soul, Dalian Atkinson for Aston Villa. Who? That goal when he's picked up the ball in his own half and he's ran through everyone, then he's chipped the goalkeeper at the end of it.
There's goals like that. That's what I'm saying. There's goals like that.
Used to score banging goals. Matt Letizia.
Even Taylor from Portsmouth.
Yeah,
Matty Taylor
from Portsmouth.
That one season where he was just banging in goals from
what
the half volley.
What was that? Is it Pedro Mendes?
Yes, Pedro Mendes
from Portsmouth.
Portsmouth had some crackers out of nowhere.
For Tottenham as well, yeah.
Forgetting that goal, aren't you?
That's what I'm saying. He scored a few.
No, that goal, you forgetting, aren't you?
Which one? What, from the halfway line?
Yeah.
Which goal?
That was Pedro Mendes.
What goal? That didn't go in, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
Spooky.
That was On The Bench podcast, episode 45. Please like, subscribe, comment. Shaun, you want to plug your socials?
I've actually got all my socials deactivated at the moment, so I don't think it's great. But they will, they will be coming back up. But if I'm gonna start uploading a lot more Chelsea content, probably towards the end of next season. But Sugar Shaun on most platforms. I'm about.
Alright, cool. Marty.
Yeah, please, thank you, mate. Yeah. So, Marty Ovens on Instagram and Facebook, but then Cobham FC TV on YouTube. Just started the channel. It's low on subscribers. Got some fantastic content. I just interviewed Dean Lewington. Dean Lewington plays for MK Dons currently. All-time Football League appearance holder with something like 952 appearances. Dean Lewington, ex-England assistant manager with Roy Hodgson, managed Palace, Watford. Fantastic story on it about Christmas Day around Elton John's house. He played for Chelsea. This guy has done a lot, and his sons are heavily engrossed in football. And his other son, Craig's the gaffer at Cobham. And this channel, I've got some. I'm not going to say, but I've got some. Hopefully, some huge names coming onto it. And yeah, it's a channel that I'm with, so any support and love would be greatly appreciated with that.
Sick, man. No problem, man. Sick. Right, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that was the episode. My button ain't worked today.
The whole set's been falling to pieces.
Say share.
It's a different room, man. It's a different room, but yeah, for real, the button's not working.
Bomber clock.
You got a free yard man in the corner saying, yo, bum.
Bomber clock.